What is up, everyone? How you doing? Welcome to, I don't know what episode. I'm going to go episode 19 for this year.
Holy shit, is it 19 already?
Yeah, I reckon.
Really? Maybe.
Yep.
It could be.
What's up, Alex? What?
I just thought you just like grabbed a random number out of the air. Just said, yeah, whatever.
I would believe you. If you said 20, I would have believed you. If
What
you said
gave you
25,
that?
I would have believed you.
What gave you that idea that I made that up?
Just because you've never confidently said the number.
That's true.
Ever.
Bluebell, we need you to verify that. I trust Bluebell.
200.
Why Bluebell? Why do you trust Bluebell over like
Bluebell's
Biggity Bam?
I
See, Biggity Bam has a name, or I would trust Biggity Bam maybe over Bluebell. But you didn't bring Biggity Bam up. You have something against him?
No,
like I like me some Biggity Bam. Like I don't understand.
Well, what about Don?
Biggity Bam.
Don's a whole different breed.
Don's never fucking come back.
Well,
we scared him away.
Yeah, I was gonna say we pretty much just outed him now.
He's never come
Well, it's
back.
because you were belittling his name.
Mashed you.
That's right.
Well, dude, he put no thought into his name. I mean,
That is his real name.
That's his
yeah,
name.
but put some like emphasis on it. Like, you know, VR.
No one puts
guy.
thought.
I mean, he puts, Bluebell
that's
has
true.
an amazing name, artful, an amazing name. Don. He's just Don. Put some thought into it, bro.
Should have been Don VR.
Yeah, get on Mash Daddy
Don VR.
Cool's level.
Don VR.
Yeah,
That's true.
seriously,
Get
come
on
bring
Mash
it.
Daddy Cool's
Do you
level.
even VR really, bro,
Daddy
Don?
cool. Daddy cool.
If only you could have come up with something as good as Mash Daddy Cool, Don.
Well, Daniel Hawk is in the chat. Mike's brother.
Mike.
Hawk.
No, dude.
You
Don't
know
go-
who loves Mike Hawk?
Don't go bullying the
yes,
viewers.
he
for
does.
Wait,
fuck's
hold on. Is he
sake.
related to Mike Hunt?
Yes. Yes.
Always.
I love that dude.
Oh,
It's a good way to start the
We've ruined it.
episode.
We've ruined it. We
Cancel
were
the
supposed to
CruCast.
wait 5 minutes. Do you want to start over, GT? We could just start over.
I don't know what to do. I'm like, let's get
Mrs.
some.
You don't know where
GT is
to go,
asleep,
dude.
right?
No,
The lady's
she's not.
asleep.
No.
Uh-oh.
Let's get,
Hawk
let's
start
get some
over.
introductions out of the way.
Okay.
Welcome to the VR CruCast. My name's GT from Gamer Tag VR, and we have also obviously been joined by all these fabulous guys as we are each and every week. But Brad, because Brad is sick. I don't know if he's got COVID. I don't know if he said he's got COVID. I didn't actually catch what he said. Why he's ill? Does anyone know?
He's
I
ill.
think he said that he's really got sick. He didn't say if he could have got sick from food for all I know.
It's because
I
he's
don't know.
quit caffeine, bro.
He's been touching.
Did he really
grass,
quit caffeine?
Most
That's
likely,
awful.
he touched some grass and it made him sick.
Oh, that happened.
He went outside, ruined him.
Stay away from it.
It ruined him. So, first up, we've got Alex and Skeever from Between Realities. How you doing, fellas?
Yo,
Yo,
we are great, right?
We
We're
are
great.
Absolutely.
We are great. We didn't really get to hang out. We've all been to most of us been to Meta Connect, and we all saw each other, but we were all bloody busy doing stuff all the time, which was quite annoying. But we're going to talk about that in a minute. Next up, we've got Wes and Roots from Virtual Strangers. How you doing, fellas?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit zombified. I'm on the rear end of a 2-day stint in this computer chair, and I think I'm okay. Feel pretty good.
I'm pissed at that.
Congratulations on 200 episodes of Virtual Strangers.
Yeah, we need to
Thank
talk
you,
about
sir.
your latest guests as well. I think that'd be
Well,
pretty.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. First, before we talk about the guest, I'll talk about how Apple sucks. And we
Yeah.
midstream they shut our stream down, or YouTube did, because we had an Apple trailer going in the background, and so
Wow.
now we have to release our Anthony, which is actually kind of cool because Anthony deserves to have it standalone, his interview. So we're gonna now release it. Wes is gonna go in and kind of edit it and edit out the forbidden trailer. And
How did you get him out of retirement? Like, what happened?
I just I check in with him every now and again. Every few months, I drop in and say hi, see how he's doing, invite him on, and typically he says, you know what? No, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer on your guys' enthusiasm and all of this sort of thing. And then, I
Wait a minute.
contacted him about a month, 6 weeks ago, and
Who is
He
this
was
that you
re-
guys are talking about?
Anthony from VR 365, Anthony, the
VR
legendary
Roundtable.
Anthony. Yeah.
He was
legendary,
definitely.
So this last time he was just receptive to the idea and he liked the idea of coming on for episode 200. It seemed like a good reason for him to visit. I think he was the first guest we ever had on our channel was Anthony. And subsequently the most recent one as well. But it worked out perfectly. We interviewed him the eve of the MetaConnect keynote, so we got fresh thoughts out coming right off of that event, and it worked out pretty well, except for what Roots alluded to, with Apple literally shutting down our interview halfway through because we dared to have some Apple B-roll running with no audio in the background behind our picture. That was enough. That was enough for them to shut us down. So yeah, so we have to edit that up and re-upload it because we only made it about halfway through his segment before we got cut off.
Fancy
I like
trying to promote Apple VR, man.
I know. That's exactly what I
know.
was gonna say. You're like giving them a free commercial, and that's illegal.
How crazy is it that the algorithm is so sophisticated that it was able to know we had that in the background, shut the stream down, and we're talking about it, saying, well, what do we do?
But
I said, okay, well, I just switched the scene back where it was just us three. Instantly,
Yeah.
Wes says, oh, there's a green light, and it let us go back in. It
How the hell did they do that? Because I didn't understand that. Like when I saw policy violation, I was like, well, the stream's dead. And then you appeared and I was like, I've never seen that before.
It just kept the stream was still, it was telling Wes, wasn't it telling you, Wes, that you need to get this footage off your stream?
Yeah,
Very
basically
weird.
that's what it said. It gave me like a yellow caution symbol and says if you want to continue, do something about that, basically. And I never hit the stop button on the stream because if you're not in Restream, you can keep your stream up indefinitely if you're just running it through YouTube.
Yeah.
So we left it open, and as soon as Roots switched the scene back and the footage went away, boom,
That's
right
crazy.
like that, we're live again. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know it could be that precise. Like
Yeah, it was nuts.
I did not know
AI's
that.
watching.
They are watching. And last but definitely not least is Eric Mash from Q2XR. Is it now? Is that
yeah, maybe. No, I'm still Q2C. I'm just
Q2C.
Q3C.
There was something on Facebook. I'm sure I went to look at it and it was something else.
Yeah. This is maybe a little name change of the Facebook group, but we're still Q2C VR Gamer.
Nice, bro. And yeah, so for Eric from Q2C VR Gamer, how you doing, bro?
What's up, guys? Good to see you. Good to be back. Seems like it's been a little while since we were here, so yeah, it feels good to be back.
Nice. A lot has happened. Obviously with Connect. Which one? Most of you were at Connect, apart from Wes and Roots, I believe.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you think of the keynote?
You specifically, Alex, and we're looking at you.
Me? Why me?
I don't know. That's the big picture for me, anyway.
Yeah. What?
You're on there.
I gotta tell you, I didn't watch the keynote.
Oh,
What?
okay.
Oh, that's right.
I know.
Did you really?
Yeah. So when we got to the Airbnb on Tuesday, we were standing out waiting for Todd to show up because for some reason he refused to give us the code to access the building. He was like, "No, you're gonna wait for me to show up." So we stood outside and waited for him. And because of Todd and him doing that, I fumbled my phone when I pulled it out of my pocket and it hit the cement.
Oh.
And it was absolutely done. Like
Oh.
I couldn't do anything on this thing.
Wow,
And
what's the matter with Todd?
Dude,
I know,
he
it's
did
all
that
Todd's
to
fault.
me too. He shot me in the back in what was it? Escape from Tarkov.
I don't think that's
Killed
quite
me.
the same, bro.
Well,
Yeah.
I felt the same betrayal.
Betrayed.
Alex had to
Betrayed.
have
How did
felt
how
with
did
his
your
phone.
brain attach that to that?
Well, it's Todd. It's whenever I hear I see Todd, or I hear his voice, or I hear somebody mention him, I think of him killing me in Tarkov.
Todd is an evil entity. We all
He
know
is.
this.
He showed me his true colors in Among Us VR. So
Oh,
I can
yes.
concur.
That's right. That's right. So anyway,
Todd.
the next morning was the keynote, and unfortunately, I had the top priority of replacing my phone.
Did you get a new iPhone?
I did not get an iPhone.
What did you get?
I am not an iPhone dude. So I had this. Used to use before it broke the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4, and I just went ahead and grabbed the new updated Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5.
Oh, was it easy to just transfer all your info by putting them together?
Pretty much.
Nice.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I spent a couple of hours going to the store, buying the thing, transferred everything over before I left there. Obviously, I was on the roads, like I wasn't at home, so I probably could have done some of that at my crib, but anyway, got it all handled. But that was all during the keynote, and I figured enough people would be sharing the highlights that I probably didn't.
I mean, to be honest, that keynote regarding Quest 3 was super short. I mean, I'm so sure the mass amount of people there were for that, and it was more about AI and stickers.
I thought the keynote was pretty good. I was there in person, so it seems like it's more electric when you're there in person.
I agree.
But the best part of the keynote for me had nothing to do with virtual reality. Like, I was like, okay, we knew all of this with the headset. You're telling me nothing new here. So I was like, ho hum, and he got to the AI and the glasses, and I'm like, I'm all down, man.
Bro,
this is what I'm here for. This is awesome.
So I've not spoke about the Ray-Bans. There was kind of an embargo, but obviously it doesn't really matter now. When I went to London before Connect to try Quest 3, it's the fastest bit of tech that I've gone from I don't care to I really want.
100%.
Those Ray-Bans. Yeah.
I ordered them on campus that next day.
They were like, everyone was the same as well. Everyone was like, did you try the glasses? And I'm like, yeah, they were absolutely brilliant. What did you like about them?
It's the AI for me. Like the first iteration of glasses had nothing for me. I could care less about them in any way whatsoever. But having the AI infused with the glasses now, I mean, it adds so much more to what they can do and what I would prefer out of them. The streaming service now that you can do with them, you can actually live stream right from the glasses. That's freaking awesome. The new audio system in it is kick-ass. It sounds so fucking good. Where before I didn't think it was very good. Like, I've tried them.
It wasn't very good. It wasn't very good. Honestly, it wasn't very good. And the glasses felt like a bit of tech, as now they felt like you're wearing a pair of Ray-Bans.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guys elaborate on what this AI functionality is doing?
Yeah, Mashcam probably more than me.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's exactly like any AI bot or chat GPT, but it's actually built into the glasses to where you can ask it questions through the glasses, and it will answer you. And there will be an upcoming software update. I think they said Q1 of 2024. There will be a software update to the glasses to where it will actually visually be able to tell you something about something in your environment. So I think they showed an example of you looking at a monument somewhere, and you'd say, what is this monument I'm looking at? And it'll tell you. It'll know just by the visuals of what you're looking at. So think about doing that in anything. You can ask it about anything you're looking at.
Yeah.
And the AI will tell you about that information.
As soon as it does translation, language translation.
It'll also help you translate as well, which is something I've been really looking forward to.
Yeah, because I'm doing quite a bit of traveling now, and honestly, it's a nightmare to keep typing stuff in all the time. I thought the cameras were great. Eric touched on the audio. They played some music, and it didn't sound like it was from the glasses. It sounded like it was from the room I was in, like spatial. And
that's awesome.
It was really good. And I know everyone has a different idea of value, but these are like £299 in my money. And for the image quality they were doing, and the fact they've got 32 gig of storage, I was like, I would have expected a higher price tag. Personally.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the glasses I'm wearing right now are like $300, right? Like, you go to optometrist, you buy glasses, then they're like $300-$400. So like, what the hell? These are awesome. I got to say, man, I am like, I love XR, right? And then the next thing in my passion list is AI, right? So this conference for me I was just like glued to it the entire time.
Yeah.
I was like so stoked with everything that was happening, the AI and the glasses, just all of the AI stuff they talked about. And of course the Quest. And then this stuff, I feel like will eventually be dribbling its way into the Quest 3 as well. I mean, I'm all about this stuff, man. This couldn't have been any more exciting.
Nice. What about you, Roots? From what you've heard, would you be interested in picking up a pair of these glasses?
I don't know. My thing is when are we going to get the smarter AI? And I'm not being disrespectful to you, AI. Please don't hate me. Because I've even recently, Wes was asking it questions. It said Radio Runt was on the show. Like, it skims the internet really quickly, and it seems like for me, every time I'm ever asking it whatever it is, like, it won't answer my questions. Like, it wants to dance around and say, well, I can't answer that. I can't answer that. I can't do this. And I'm like, and they're theoretical things. Like, I think I was asking something about when would be the best time if Russia were to nuclear attack the United States?
God.
When would be like what season would be the best time? Because I could have sworn I had heard it was springtime, like it because they would still want to preserve the United States. Like there's something with the jet winds or something I read once, right? And it just would not. Well, that is too dark of a thing. I can't talk about that. I'm like, what the fuck? Are you my
Roots-
servant or not?
Roots
Answer
is
my
in there
fucking
just like
question.
asking it philosophical questions or like asking it like all this immoral stuff, like how do I rob a bank with the least amount of risk?
Well, this
You know,
is the thing.
what
It
is the
just-
meaning of life, Chat
I just-
GPT?
My thing, I just said, is it not a possibility this could happen? Like when I just want to know what is your opinion of it? I just feel like there's so many limitations that I guess if you really are good at, there's like ways to get around it and jailbreaking it and getting it to do what you want. But I just feel like at some point, for me to get really excited about the AI, I have to actually be able to use it for something that I want to use it. Like and then it seems to be really skewed in weird ways, woke wise, and that's kind of weird as well. I just feel like just unleash it. If you're gonna unleash it for us to use it, and don't limit it. It's just it's crazy to me. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I think everything else you're describing is pretty cool. I don't know that I would get it though.
That's awesome. We had a really good comment from Butter Something. He said, when I asked about the keynote, he put Zuck said August and Boz said PlayStation.
They did. It was so weird. And it was funny because once
was funny.
Boz said PlayStation, you could see that he realized what he said too, because he was like, oh fuck. I just said PlayStation. Zuckerberg just said August, and I think he kind of like glossed right over it.
Yeah, because, well,
What-
the show was delayed by 20 minutes due to a potential like fire inspection that it had failed or something and it needed to be done. Hence the reason the live stream went to chaos. But yeah, sorry, Alex.
What's the PlayStation thing? This is the first time hearing of it.
No, he just said the word PlayStation when he was meant
He
to
just
say
went
another
out
word.
on stage and he's like,
He was talking
PlayStation.
about Guardian, and he was supposed to say play space because they were talking about the new Guardian, and instead of saying my play space, he said PlayStation.
Imagine that. Bob's going on stage and going, PlayStation. And just
Well, you
dropping
gave
it.
me no context. Like I'm asking for the context.
That is
He
quality.
just mic dropped PlayStation. He's like, I'm out. It's just PlayStation.
That is amazing. I want to
Walking
give
out
some
in front of all of those people and like
Yeah.
it's like the biggest days for their companies. Like I would screw up too, so I can't fault them, especially for the August thing. Like it is what it is. We all screw
We
up
all knew
sometimes.
anyway.
We
We all,
think Zuck human, so.
August is in the past. Thank you to Snowtoad who gifted 5 CruCast memberships. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you ever so much. Mr. Tasselhoff has been a member for 3 months. Thank you ever so much. And he donated 5 more VR CruCast memberships. Thank you ever so much. And Throw. I don't know how to say that.
Okay.
My dyslexia is like making my brain flip. But thank you ever so much. He gifted 5 VR CrewCast memberships as well. So thank you to everyone for being here. I really appreciate it. And considering we are inconsistent, or I am, one of the two. So who has used Quest 3 here? Nice. Alex, you're right.
I feel like I can only put my hand halfway up.
What
Yeah,
happened? Did you just touch it?
Well, pretty much. Yeah.
Inappropriately,
Yeah.
or
Oh
Well,
God.
there was like a, I met somebody like in a porta potty on a construction site in Menlo Park for 30 seconds, and they like quickly showed it to me.
Oh my
So-
God.
Oh God, that sounds. Did you then show him yours?
That sounds sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I did get a glimpse of it, and what do you want to know what I thought about it?
I want to know what you did to know what you thought about it. Did you
I was
hold
just
it? Did
chilling.
you-
I was just chilling. I held it. I looked through the lenses and passed through mode in a low light setting. Held the controllers.
Go for it.
It was really small, and that's about like my biggest takeaway right now. I wasn't able to play a game on it, sadly, but it was super, super tiny, a lot small. Like, and I knew it was going to be smaller, but like I was taken aback when I like actually held it and saw it sitting in a case. I was like, damn, that thing.
Would you be
is a
surprised
lot
if
smaller.
they say it's more weight? It's actually heavier.
Yeah, I would be
It's
surprised.
like 10 grams in it, or 50?
it's amazing how it's heavier, but it feels lighter. Like I was talking about it last night. I'm like, it shocks me at how much lighter it feels. Like the freaking Quest 2 feels like a brick, man. It just feels like a brick when you put it on, and this does not in any way. And it's I don't know. It's a balance. I'm sure it's a balancing issue. But that's exactly what it has to be because it is heavier, but it doesn't. It feels lighter. It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've been very lucky. I think I've probably spent don't know, maybe 4 to 5 hours in total. Because I did a lot of mixed reality stuff. Played Assassin's Creed quite a bit because I knew I wanted to make a video on that, which is awesome, by the way.
It is awesome.
And yeah, just in general, like, I'm not even joking when I say that, and it should be, that headset is better in every way than Quest 2. In every way. There isn't a way that you could ever say, like when I see those YouTube videos saying, don't buy Quest 3 for some reason, until you watch this video, it's bollocks, to be honest. The headset is is fantastic, I think, for a standard. It's very impressive for a standard headset. The first thing that hit me was the form factor. And when I put it on, I finally got to that point where I didn't know I had it on. Do you know what I mean? I was playing my game and I forgot I had it on. And that's something I've been waiting for ages. So that was really cool. I thought the controllers were great. I thought the visuals were so sharp. But yeah, like, I just, you know, what else did you think, Mash? What did you play?
I played 3 experiences. I did the Ghostbusters MR experience. I did a lot of Assassin's Creed Nexus, and I did a game called BAM.
Oh yeah, BAM. Yeah, they loved everyone playing BAM.
So for me, I was saying last night on Virtual Strangers, if you only have a Quest 2 and that's what you know as virtual reality, this headset is going to freaking blow you away.
Yeah,
because like some of us have been spoiled with the Quest Pro because we know what pancake lenses are and we know the clarity from those. So I think if you have a Quest Pro, it is still definitely an upgrade, but it's going to be less of a jump. Like if you're just normally used to the Quest 2, or God forbid a Quest 1, or like some people out there that are still supporting the freaking CV1, this is going to be like next level. This feels like a true jump in, like, you know, the next level of virtual reality, the visuals and the form factor of this headset, because, you know, a couple of big things. Remember, now we're going from a single panel Quest 2, which was kind of a blocky, weird way to do things, to now pancake, you know, and Fresnel lenses, by the way, the pancake lenses, 2 displays. You can adjust it now to get your exact IPD, which there was only 3 settings of IPD on the Quest 2, which a lot of people did not correctly get dialed in because of that. You're going to be able to really dial yourself into this thing now. It has one of the biggest sweet spots I've ever seen. There is no having to adjust this freaking thing when it's on your head.
I've been people have been asking about the sweet spot, and I think mainly because I think PSVR 2 has caused this sweet spot thing more so than any other headset I know of. And yeah, like, it just seemed like the whole thing was a sweet spot. I know it sounds.
I never had to adjust it. Did you? Like, once I got it dialed in with the head strap, which I hate. Once I got it dialed in, I never had to adjust it on my head after that.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, they've like when I saw Red Matter 2, and I think this happened to Mike more so than me, I kind of had more high hopes than he did. He was like, because of Quest Pro, he hated Quest Pro. Not because of the lenses, just because of the whole form factor thing. He thought it was a bad idea. And there was a number of bad ideas that went with it, like the charge dock. There was a lot of things that weren't very good. And obviously the price. And so he was a bit like, you know, whatever. And then he saw Red Matter 2, which I've been told we won't be able to get it, and I don't think it's ever going to see the light of day to the public. But you could basically click in the right stick and flip between Quest 3 and Quest 2, and in the opening screen, it's got dynamic frame rate. It can go from 72 to 90 depending on what's going on. Now I know PSVR 2 at the moment, I don't own Red Matter 2 on Quest 3 yet. I haven't got a Quest 3 yet. It's coming. Red Matter 2 on PSVR 2 was, I think, one of the best games in terms of, yeah, you don't need PCVR. This is the best version. I found this on Quest 3 clearer, more detailed, but a lower frame rate than PSVR 2. Like, the game looked better on Quest 2, and I didn't think that was possible. Then that, you know, That was just, it was a real shocker to me. I didn't from standalone. You just don't expect. I didn't expect that. But obviously they're really good developers. How many developers are going to go to these lengths to do this stuff? You know.
So would you say that it's a fair statement now to say that that as of next week, standalone VR hardware is capable of producing a mid-tier PCVR experience?
I think
Like
with the right developers, I do. Yeah. After
that-
playing Assassin's Creed, so the thing we was told by developers, a number of developers, which we didn't believe, but I was very happy to hear it, was Quest 3 is like a low end PC experience. They were like, it's a low end PC experience, but it's definitely bridging that gap. Like, it was very clear, wasn't it? We've had some really ugly games in the past, yeah, on Quest, but now, now that thing has just shrunk so much.
yeah.
And it's just so, I know it's only 3 years sounds quite a lot, but for me personally, the way this tech is moving is just, it's crazy.
Exactly. And that's the point, because we're at a baseline right now. This is a whole new processor with a whole new set of features, and Meta and the development studios out there have not even begun to optimize this thing yet. You saw what they did with Quest 2 from in the 3 years since it launched to what they're capable of doing on it now is like night and day. Imagine if we're starting on a baseline of mid-tier PCVR level performance, what this thing's going to be in a year and a half. It's going to it's exciting.
Yeah, it is, and it doesn't mean we're not going to get shitty games. Like, I don't want everybody to think all of a sudden, because we have a Quest 3 now, that there's not going to be any shitty games out there, because there will be. Because this, no matter what the hardware is, it depends on the developers to make the games. And somebody mentioned last night, and it was like, I fear there's going to be no AAA games. You can't make AAA games for standalone, and I disagree with that 100%. You can make AAA games for the Quest 2. They're on there. You just have to make them. And you could absolutely make them on the Quest 3. But again, you just have to make them. And the developer has to figure out how to make them efficiently and, cost effectively too. So, because we get it. I mean, it's, but it's possible. It's absolutely possible. And we're bridging that gap even more to make it easier and more cost effective for the developers to make the higher end games. So I think we need this step to get to the next step. Like, this is a really good jump forward. But I think we need this to get to that next step that Roots is talking about, those deep VR games where it's as deep as a flat game, where we're going to find that. Like, I think this is a bridge, or this is a step towards what those things are going to be, because this is absolutely a step. This is actually a big jump in virtual reality for us. Like I said, Quest 2 people, or even Quest 1 people, are going to like really lose it when they see this, how great it is. And some of the mixed reality stuff too is going to blow people away, even though it's maybe a little bit early and a little bit tech demo-y. Some of this stuff is going to blow people away.
Yeah, I think the Guardian was really impressive for me, like that dynamic Guardian where we played a game. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. Basically, there was 4 of us in a room, and we were shooting these drones. It's probably called drone. I think it's Drone Strike.
Drone Strike.
Drone Strike. Yeah. So we're sitting there, and it was really cool because I got Nacy to stand like that against the wall, and I shot all bullets around her, bullet holes, and these bullet holes look fantastic. And that, in the beginning, the quest they gave me wasn't set up, and I put the headset on, and it was like, do your play space, and literally I just looked around. It found all 4 walls, the floor, and then was ready to go. And I was like, and I took the headset. I was like, guys, did you put the walls in this? He was like, no, we haven't used that headset yet. I actually don't believe them, to be honest with you. I think they don't know what they're talking about, because it just doesn't, I don't understand how it done it that fast. And maybe it's because I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like, we had a meeting with Boz, and one of the questions I wanted to get to ask was about software, and I didn't get to, unfortunately. But he basically was talking about versions of tech, and he said, look, basically a lot of tech, when it comes about, it's always the third iteration. The third version is when finally you can bring it all together. And he's quite right. I know some of you aren't into iPhones, but iPhone 3 was the one that really took off and made sense. And I really feel now, I didn't expect this. I can't explain. I did not expect it. I really thought like PSVR 2 is going to smash it for the next year. It's had some really dodgy. It's had some bumps. Do you know what I mean? That headset at the
So,
moment.
so basically, what you're saying is that PlayStation VR 2 isn't there yet. I'm just playing.
No, yeah, man. No, I kind of thought this year there was going to be one main contender. You know, that's what I thought in
Yeah.
some way. And now, and it's brilliant if you're happy with multi-platform. If you're, and I am, obviously, I love.
Yeah.
I'm going wherever the software is, dude. Like, absolutely, that's me all over. But finally, I think the Quest folk won't have to be the ones that are the butt of the jokes. I can't see that this time round. You know, I mean, yeah, someone pointed out Assassin's Creed hasn't got shadows. I didn't even notice that because I got in there and I was just like, look at this fucking city. Like, look at the people. I'm running around. I'm doing that thing you did in the game. You know, you just push past them all. I was loving it, mate. I was loving it.
I heard
Are
there
the-
was like
the movement's
60
really good.
NPN or NPCs or something in that game, or somebody told me that they played Assassin's Creed and they were blown away by how many NPCs there were.
I couldn't tell you a number, but it was, as I said, you can't help when you like stay on the thought that everything is happening in this headset. You are constantly thinking that's pretty impressive. Like that's what happens. And yeah, like Eric was saying about the MR, I definitely think it's light dependent. When I played it in London and I did my review first impressions, not that I'm blown away by MR software yet. There's nothing that makes me think, yeah, you need to buy a headset for MR because there's no full games. But where it was quite a low light area, you got that grain, and it wasn't as bad as Quest 2. I'll say it's like 3 times better than Quest Pro. 3 times better than Quest Pro, which is good, but it still wasn't that clearness that you see in the trailers. You know, you see all the trailers, everything's like, it looks like the real world. But then at Meta, with the right lighting, it was so close. And then I figured out that's why Quest Lite's come in, because they're going to try and just literally smash Apple with price. No controllers. It's an MR headset, and it's probably going to be $299. And because the MR is actually really good. So
it's really good. It's I did a Ghostbusters experience in it. It was, you know, the experience itself was like, okay. Didn't like wow me, but the visuals of the MR it's hands down better than the Quest Pro, like a lot better. And that has to do with the depth sensor too. You know what I mean? The depth sensor being in the headset now where it's not in the Pro makes a huge difference between things being looking fake or looking real. Like you know, it's definitely not there yet where it feels like a 100% real pass through, visual pass through, but it feels a lot closer. So I'll give you an example. If you haven't tried the Quest Pro before, you put your hands in front of your headset and you get a disconnect because of the depth sensor of the way your hands move in the place in the pass through, because there's almost like I would consider it like a lag almost, where it doesn't catch up and the camera doesn't like follow it fast enough. So there's almost like a disconnect and it doesn't feel like your hands. Now it feels like when I'm looking at my hands, when I move my fingers, when I move everything, it feels right. That whole disconnect there, when you have a proper depth sensor in there, it connects you more to it feeling like your own real environment than a video of your environment. So it's much, much better than it was in the Quest Pro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, would any of you guys consider investing in a headset for MR at the moment?
No.
No,
Well,
I would, but
I
I'm an
wouldn't.
early adopter, right? But I would.
So,
for sure.
so for me, the real exciting things about MR is twofold. First of all, I think it's going to be a transformative experience in terms of co-location and social experiences in VR. As it stands right now, I've got a couple of Quest 2s here, right? And my kids play them all the time, and their friends all have their headsets. And literally, they'll all come over here for a party or something, and they'll sit in the same room and play Quest 2 games together. Just literally, you know, not interacting with one another in the physical world, but they're all in Rec Room or something to that effect. The fact now that in a year from now, they're all going to have their headsets on and they're going to be able to see each other and they're going to be able to stand around a table and play the same game together. That is a completely different thing that we've never seen before in not in any kind of usable sense in VR. And I think that has the potential to be a big thing. And the other thing that makes mixed reality so exciting for me is now we finally have that half step for people to get uncomfortable in VR. We have something we can demo to people now, and they're not just going to throw it down because their stomach's upset. They're going to be able to put the headset on. They're still going to be able to see everything around them. They're not going to have to worry about running into the wall or looking stupid. And they're going to be able to play something that they can play. And what that's going to mean is, you know, after they've been playing mixed reality for a month, 6 weeks, what have you, now they're going to start getting their VR legs, and they're going to start to check out stuff that's maybe a little bit more immersive. So I think that the mixed reality, while it might still be in that tech demo phase, I think it's going to mean big things for VR in the long run.
It's pretty incredible that, as I was talking about Drone Strike, the game, I'm not saying it is trash. Like, there's no real gameplay to it. You shoot things, more things come. But when there's 4 of you in the same room fighting together, there's that couple of minutes of wow. You still got occlusion problems, I believe, in MR that they're still trying to figure out, you know. So your real hand could potentially pass through whatever's supposed to be in front of it, kind of thing. Does that make any sense? Like, there's still occlusion. Not that you notice it, because your guns are here and everyone else is standing over there. So the guns are all worked out where they could be, but there is a chance that, I guess, someone else's gun could float through my hand, or my hand would always be in front, but their gun would be in the wrong layer of the picture. That was something they were talking about, that they're trying to figure out. And I don't know if they will, but there was another demo I did, Stranger Things. And this was another wow moment. And it's definitely not about the game. It's not about the game. In no way is just grabbing a fucking... no way grabbing a fucking bat or whatever it was doing is an amazing thing. Lego was good. We should talk about Lego. But it was the fact that I was opening portals with like a... Do you remember the old Power Glove? Nintendo Power Glove? You were basically opening...
Have one chilling right there.
What?
So I have one chilling right there.
Of course he does.
We'll go and get it.
Steve's got all the good shit, right?
I want to see
You
it.
don't. Yeah, you don't have one.
I don't believe him.
Actually, I've been to his crib. I know he's got one.
Wow, I'd love to. Anyway, so you basically make a fist and you pull back and it opens these portals in Stranger Things, right? And obviously all the black tentacle stuff comes out. Is he gonna? And before he shows you, or he's gonna show me. Yeah, and basically there was like, where I was in the room, there was like metal girders above the room, right? And it looked to me like the tentacles had wrapped themselves around the real environment, to the point I was like, what the fuck? Like, it looked like it was actually there. And it was, maybe it wasn't, I don't know, but it's just crazy, dude. And I do think it's because of the clarity. I think the clarity really helps with that.
So think about this, and this is something that occurred to me yesterday. So everyone kind of knows already that Drop Dead the Cabin's going to get a free upgrade that's going to basically allow you to play in mixed reality while zombies crawl through your windows and doors. And imagine a game like that with co-location, so that maybe you and a friend or maybe 2 friends can sit there and shoot. And everyone thinks about doing this in their own room, but most of us are space limited. But this is a standalone, which means that you can take it to an abandoned house somewhere, or maybe there's an open house with like some real estate company has a open house available, or this sort of thing. Everyone can probably think of a space where if you wanted to, if you had a reason to, you could go play. Imagine taking you and a friend and having a whole house scale, like zombie wave shooter in mixed reality.
Yeah.
Like that isn't something that we have now, but it's something we have the ability to do now. So I have no doubt that we're going to start seeing this stuff real soon.
Yeah, I don't know if, I'm sure most of you guys know. If you haven't, I made a video on it. Space Pirate Arena was one of the best, I guess, room scale experiences on Quest. It's like a 10-meter play space, and you basically run around in a grid. But with Quest, but you was in the game, right? And that was the problem. You could easily run into a wall, for example. Say, for example, whatever would happen. But now what we're looking at is you would have the real world with the walls coming out the floor, but you're still in the real world, and the other person could actually still look like another character. Yeah. It's just,
yeah.
Let's see that glove, Steven. Come on.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Get your glove out, son.
You look like Michael. You look like Michael Jackson.
What's up with the fingers? Why are your fingers bendy? You're like the Grinch or something. Wait,
Well,
oh,
so this is for, this was kind of for kids back in the day, right? But the fingertips are cut out, so when your hands are bigger, they can kind of still
Bro,
Just-
do you use that to show off to people?
No, I just have it hanging over
Yeah.
on display.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's got power.
You know who else has something that looks very similar to that?
My mom.
Why
She
would
does?
what does she do with it?
You
Bro,
don't
it's,
want to
it's
know.
usually a
That's
yeah,
cool.
she
You
does, and
don't
this time
wanna
it was
know.
a she does.
She does?
You don't want to know what she does.
Oh
with
my
it.
god. You know what I think the biggest thing about mixed reality is it's not the main function. You know what I mean? So like your question
Right.
was, are any of you, interested in going and buying a headset for mixed reality? And I think for most of us, the answer is no. I wouldn't buy just a headset for mixed reality, but I would buy a Quest 3 that gives me standalone virtual reality, and I'm going to get some kick-ass cool MR experiences or AR experiences in this headset. So as an add-on or as like extra, I think it's amazing, and I think it's going to wow some people. These experiences are going to be experiences that you will put new people in that will blow them away, and you need that to help sell headsets. Like how many times have we put people in an experience, whatever experience it is, a VR experience, and then you help sell that headset to somebody else? Well, think about it now and putting them in there where they can actually see their own environment, and then all of a sudden shit starts flying out of them at them, through their own environment, and freaks them out, and the roof, breaks open, and something drops
Oh, like
down in the middle of
Ghostbusters.
it.
That's what happened in Ghostbusters, wasn't it? He pulled the roof
Yeah.
off the ceiling.
Yeah,
away.
the marshmallow dude like starts breaking through the roof,
Yeah.
the little roof, and all of a sudden he pulls the roof off, and you see him up there. I mean, those are the things that people will be able to experience. So I think as a add-on, or it's basically gravy. It's like extra. It's like, here you go. You get this kick-ass headset that's freaking beautiful. That's amazing. It's standalone. You can plug it into your PC, and we're going to give you MR experiences.
I think Wes definitely hit their marketing push though. Like that's why MR is such a big thing, because it won't scare anyone. They won't feel sick, and you can wow them like easier than ever before at the moment. And those statements that I heard about like Quest holding VR back, this is the headset. I think that I'm going to ask you guys about the price in a minute, but if the price wasn't such an issue as it is for some people, this is the VR headset that has the most potential out of any other headset I think I've tried that will get average Joe, I like gaming, into it. That's what I think. But
Why is the price a problem? Like,
it really is
even-
for a lot of people, dude. Like,
well, I know a lot of people are struggling or don't have money, but for
Yeah.
tech that's this advanced, and it's like TVs when they first come out, consoles, whatever, things cost money, and you know what I mean. I'm not diminishing the fact that some people can't afford it, and I've been there at many times in my life.
so
It just I don't think it's an unreasonable price by any stretch of the imagination for what you're getting at all. I just think it's weird. I understand people not having money for it, and people, you know what I mean. I understand that, but saying that it's too expensive, that's just not. I don't think that's realistic.
I tell you what it is. It's a bit like PSVR 2 again, where people are like, "Hold on, dude! Like, this is the same price as a console." It's that again.
It should be. It should.
Yeah, it's got your monitor in it. It's got the console. It's got everything all in one.
I know,
it's
but
like
I know, but it's not like the thing is, right? These guys have got to take YouTuber impressions on this. You know what I mean? When their best friend tells them, that's when it changes. You know, like that's when that's when it changes. You know, we can do what we can, and hopefully people trust us. But I completely understand if you don't want to trust YouTubers. You know, but end of the day, when one of their friends tries it, that's when people start going, oh, like IGN dropped a Quest 3 video today, and the comments, some of them are absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It's like they didn't watch the video. They're just like, oh, it's got new lenses and it costs the same as a console. It's dead. And I'm like, come on, man. You know,
they probably didn't watch it with GT.
I know, probably not, but it's just annoying. Big shout out to Sherzod Khan City. Thank you ever so much for the $5 donation. He put at this point, besides exclusives, which I don't think we can beside, any reason to invest in Sony's VR ecosystem? Anyone want to take that?
Don't give up on Sony yet. Like I have been the biggest person to kick them into why they're down, and I have been on them too. But I don't think you can give up on Sony yet. I think that we're going to have a big fall with Sony. I really do. I am as critical as everybody else, and I want to freaking beat them when they do something stupid or when they don't think they represent well. But do I by any means think that, the purchase was a bad purchase, or do I think the system is dead? Absolutely not. I mean, Sony is going to have stuff coming out, so just don't panic. I mean, you can be unhappy. You can be unhappy and say, I want more, and where is more, but I wouldn't panic and say that it's dead and they're not, it's over.
If we could fast forward in time, when Resident Evil 4 Remake comes out, everyone here is going to lose their shit. Simple as.
Mm-hmm.
There's no,
Absolutely.
and I know, and I've seen the meme of the guy, he's like that, and he's being held up by Resident Evil and Gran Turismo, like, and that's the whole. They're basically saying like, there's only 3 games that hold this system up. I completely disagree with that as well. I think there's at least, I could think of 10, and there's probably more. But I also believe, like Eric, that we haven't seen the IPs like yet. The big, there's more to come.
Yet.
There's more to come. I think there's more to come.
We've had 2 first-party titles so far. We're 7 months in. We've had
and
2
another
first-party
one on the
titles.
way, right? By the end of the year or just after the end of the year. And they're constant. They've got one in the works right now, the Resident Evil 4 remake. So like to think that they're not making those games is distant. It's just not genuine.
Yeah,
right?
they're making San Andreas, right?
Yeah, I
right.
don't see that's
Right.
what do you guys think about that? Somebody was asking about that in the chat when we were talking about the Quest 3 and the fact that it didn't come up at all. I mean, do you think it's actually coming? Do you think this is like a pipe dream? I mean, I feel like that him saying that, I almost, if I don't have that memory, I really think that maybe I'm imagining that it happened.
I believe,
Mandela effect.
I personally believe that you're more likely to see it on PlayStation than you are Quest at the moment.
Even though the Zuck himself was saying it during what was that? Was that MetaConnect?
It was a long time ago.
It was last year. No, it was the year
2
before
years ago.
last.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. It's a long time
Jeez.
ago.
It was the only time that it ever got brought up too, right? It never got
Mhm.
brought up again. So it just makes me think that, I don't know, it's probably not
I
coming.
would. Was it bad to say that I would rather see it on PlayStation than Quest 3? But
No, I would
I
too.
will.
Oh.
I will say this though. Like, we're talking about PlayStation, and we're talking about these amazing games that are holding it up right now. Those amazing games are still the best games I've played this year, by the way, on any other
Right.
console, anywhere. So if you want to dig PlayStation and say, my purchase wasn't worth it, think about all those games that we're saying how great they are, and they're still the best games I played this year. Gran Turismo 7, Resident Evil 8, Horizon Call of the Mountain. Give me a few others. Synapse. These are still the best games I played anywhere. So if you can only play them here and you're only getting that experience on PlayStation VR 2, how are you telling me this system is dead and it's not worth it and it wasn't worth a purchase? You have to look. You can't just look back at the last 2 months. You need to look at the entire launch since March, by the way, guys. Since March. You know what I mean?
And
So
it's
that's
like
just-
a 6-year cycle, right?
yeah.
So
And again, I'm not saying you can't be upset. I'm just saying you can't be the opposite way to where you say the system's dead already. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still playing
and-
Firewall for the record. I still think Firewall Ultra is worth the time and the money. I think it's a great game.
And when you talk about the game of the year nominees, right? The best games we've seen this year, all of them are PlayStation games except for one, which is Vertigo 2, which is coming to PlayStation VR 2 in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So like it's a great platform. It really is. And we haven't even started to see real first party support yet. So it's only going to get better.
Yeah, I think I feel very privileged to be on a to have a multi-platform channel to share this stuff, and it can be good and bad, obviously being one or the other, but I'm just glad that I've got both. The only problem I'm going to get is now when they send me a copy of a game for 2 platforms, I'm going to be like, which one do I complete this on and which one do I compare it to? Like, the thing is, when you play like Gran Turismo isn't possible on Quest 3. Blatantly, it's not. The 10 teraflops is a PS5, and I think Quest 3 is 2.8 teraflops. So you can't get it twisted that a game will probably have better textures, better shadows, better bump mapping, draw distance, all that stuff. But unfortunately, you're still wearing a window into that virtual world, and that's where things change. Lenses. And what Mash said earlier was completely right. If you've gone from Quest 2, if you're going from Quest 2 to Quest 3, you're going to be shocked. If you're going from Quest Pro, it's like Quest Pro with more graphical power. You're not going to be as shocked. But I still think people on PSVR will also be slightly shocked. I think they'll see that clarity and go, "Oh,
clarity matters."
yeah, it does really
Clarity
matter."
matters. People, I took a little bit of shit earlier this year when I said that I think that maybe the best version of Green Hell might be the Quest version because
Oh yeah, I bet
of
you did.
yeah.
Did you
Well,
say that
I
on
mean-
Without Parole? I hope not.
Yeah, I did actually. I did say it on Without Parole.
Yeah, you would have.
And the reason why was clarity, right? I mean, there was a lot more detail in the PSVR version, but there was also a lot more artifacts. You know, there were problems with the draw distances. There was aliasing and shimmering everywhere, and that's not to mention things like the Mura and things that are already built into the screen. So when you go over to Quest, sure, there's not all that detail in the environments and the textures, but everything that is there is crystal clear, and that does count for something.
But that is a very rare case, isn't it? How
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
super rare. Like if you compared Zombieland PSVR 2 compared to any other
Oh
platform,
yeah,
like
no
it's crazy good.
contest.
there's no contest. No
Yeah.
contest. So yeah, that's
But those pancake lenses is something to be said for them. They are so freaking good. Like I love the OLED lenses in the PlayStation VR 2 just for the colors and the way that
Yeah,
the
the
blacks are so
blacks,
black and the
yeah.
colors, even just the blacks are super black, but the colors themselves seem to pop better on that headset with those lenses. And but the pancakes are so clear and the visuals are so good that I want to get to the point where we have pancake lenses that are OLED. Like I mean, if we could get that, would be amazing. And like I want to see something that'll give me the colors, but in pancake lenses, because I hate God rays, I hate screen
Yeah.
door,
yeah.
and with the pancake, you get none of that.
Yeah, no one. I don't think people actually believe me when I say there's no screen door.
Zero.
There's no whatever you just said. The other thing, the glare. There's none
God
of that.
rays.
Yeah,
Yeah,
God
God
rays.
rays. Yeah, there's not. I still remember the first time I went into my Rift for the first time. I'd gone from PSVR. Now PSVR has very minimal God rays. It probably, I'd say, close to zero in some games. And I remember getting my Rift, and I thought it was broken. Because it was like,
Yeah.
wow, what the hell is
Same
this?
man.
Yeah, it was crazy, dude. They were like coming right out here, these white lines and stuff. And
It's because
Yeah.
the original PSVR didn't use Fresnel lenses and it didn't have those God rays. So I was so taken by PSVR, I spent thousands of dollars to build a PC and get a Rift so that I could see the best that
Yeah.
VR had to offer. And when I got over, I was disappointed.
yeah,
I was disappointed because it wasn't as bright. There was glare and God rays all over everything. And I'm not saying I regretted it because there were some awesome PC exclusives and I went on to do my channel and do a lot more with my computer. But man, I was not happy with the end result when I got over to PC land.
yeah, it's the same. But I mean, I can't wait to try Quest 3 with PC. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Because
gonna.
that's one thing I haven't tried yet. Have you?
No.
I mean, you might not even be able to say if you have or not. But
No,
I
I
only
haven't.
tried as standalone.
And that could really change the game again, because then you're recommending it also as a PCVR headset, and we haven't even touched on that yet. Like we haven't even
Yeah,
gone there.
does it have I'm pretty sure it has Wi-Fi 6E, right? So we
It
should
does.
be able to get like really good streaming from PCVR to the headset.
It's
with
like
the-
having a Novio adapter built right into the damn headset.
Yeah.
Man.
Daniel,
I would just love to see them do a DisplayPort cable at one point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like knock people's socks off and do it. You know what I mean? Make it, give them the DisplayPort cable that everybody's asking for.
Yeah. Daniel Kess says, I'm assuming Quest 3 pancakes still have ghost-like internal light reflections. Now, I don't think it does, and it's something to do with this optical stack that they've done for this headset. I can't, and I know I'm not. It's very hard to say like try it for yourself and let us know. Like I hope you do. I hope you guys do. But yeah, visually this is like the best headset. One of the best headsets I've used. Yeah, it's really good, and
And
It's
you
better
know,
than it's better than the Pro. And
Yeah.
I rave over the clarity of the Quest Pro.
yeah, it's very hard. Like as I said, I've only used it for like 4 or 5 hours. I was trying to look around as much as I can. I should get it in a little while, and I will do like really in depth as much as I can. But yeah, initially I couldn't see anything. Like there's so many times that I go into a headset and I can see something, like pretty instantaneously, and I didn't. It was awesome. It was really awesome. It is clear. It's a higher resolution than PSVR 2. On top of that, this optical stack they're talking about and these pancake lenses, it's like, yeah, it's really good. It's really
So-
You know
good.
what we mentioned yet either is that we haven't talked about the hand tracking at all. The hand tracking is so good on it. Like I went into this thing in a pretty low light situation where the PlayStation, I mean the PlayStation,
Ah, your Boz. You
Dude,
done a
yeah,
Boz.
the Quest 2 would have been like, no, you know, it's too dark in here for hand tracking. This was like, nope, no problem. Had perfect use of my hands. Went through all the menus, no issues at all.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
that
I'm
sensor makes a
so
big
glad
difference.
there's a group here to talk about it, because when you're saying this stuff on your own, you sound like you're just trying to make everything sound great. But sometimes there is nothing to report, if you know what I mean.
So
The
let's
head
talk about
strap-
this then.
The head strap
Le-
sucks ass.
Yeah, here we go. You took it right out of my mouth. They can do all this amazing things with mixed reality and hand tracking and wireless PCVR, but they, for some reason, cannot design a head strap that doesn't fold your fucking ears down. Like,
or break like the one that they make would be nice to work. But this is the thing, I think the strap is, I like the fact that the strap's on there, okay, for a couple reasons. One, it does for people that are, you know, want to lay down in bed, watch a movie or whatever. Like you can't do that with a regular headset, so it gives you a use for that for the average person, or a lounge in your lazy boy or whatever. So it gives you that option, but it also opens the doors for companies like Bobo and all these aftermarket companies. It generates this entire market, and these things end up being way better than Oculus could ever design. So I mean, if we're patient a little bit, it's a win-win for everybody. You just have to end up buying, you know, an aftermarket something, and usually it makes it a little bit cheaper as well at the beginning of the purchase. So
And props to Bobo for coming out and making adapters for some of
Yes.
their pre-existing head straps. Like they could have no problem been like, nope, it doesn't work. Sorry, buy all new stuff. And they would have sold them because Bobo is the best. They're hands down amazing. They make everything more comfortable. Battery life is phenomenal by swapping those batteries out. But they're like, no, we're going to take a couple dollars from you instead to just make it so the stuff that we already sold you already works. And that's a huge hit. And for me, that really like builds the trust up with that company to be like, oh man, these guys are legit and they care about the players too. So yay, Bobo.
Do you know who
But
else
not-
likes to wear a strap on?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Nazazaki says, so we have to pay more and more. It doesn't end up being that way. That's one of the reasons why Meta wants to do it. They don't include that. They make it so they can make it cheaper,
Yeah.
a little bit cheaper anyway. And then, so you're paying for it you don't have to get it. Look at it this way. You can get your foot in the door with a strap, and then a month or two later, you can save up that little bit of extra, and now you can get the accessory after they've perfected it. So it's kind of like it's a win-win, because those Bobo VR headsets, they make it a headset that was not at one time very uncomfortable feel like it's a glove, right? So I think it's good.
I'm not saying I have fully tested the strap, but I found it more comfortable than the Quest 2. It's not as hard, it's not as rigid, and it didn't cut into the top of my ears. But
I had the opposite. I hate that thing, man.
I think it depends, and I've said this before, it depends where your eyes and ears are sort of worked out, you know, on this stuff.
That's true.
I saw some people actually putting it over their ears. And not
Yeah.
even, and they were like, yeah, I love this strap. And I'm
that's
like,
crazy.
I don't think you should have it over.
Yeah,
like,
It's not
that's
supposed to be like
insane.
that. I
I
will
don't
agree that
want
the
it-
material is different, but to me, it still fits the exact same way, which it means it cuts into the top of my ears. Unless I have it over top of my ears, it
Not-
actually cuts into the top of my ears.
how
and
do
it
you wear your
bothers me.
hat? How do you wear your hat? Do you have it onto your ears?
But that's what it is. But the strap itself cuts into the top.
Yeah,
but the
yeah,
hat
yeah.
sits on top. For some reason,
Quest
the
2
strap
used to
hurts.
do that. Quest 2
And
used
this
to
one
do
does.
that.
Like this was the only, like, for comfort wise, this was the only thing I have. I've said that, like, it just bothers me. I guarantee, like, a lot of people said to me, you're not going to need to go buy another strap. You can use the one that comes with it. It's perfectly fine. And I'm like, fuck no, it's not. It's not. You're going to want to go. I guarantee 100% you're going to go buy a Bobo or a Kiwi or something else, or get the Elite
Something.
strap. Nobody will be using this same strap. I guarantee, because people are like, well, should I go get the blue one or the orange one? And I'm like, neither. Neither. Wait till somebody comes with
Oh,
a third
don't know,
party
Eric.
and then go.
I love the colors, man. I fell in
I
love with the
do,
orange one. I fell in love
but
with the orange one.
if they just did it with this facial interface, right? Like, don't like let me pick for no upcharge what color my facial interface is. Don't let me. Does it have to be the strap? Because I guarantee nobody's a month from the release date. Nobody will be wearing one of those orange or blue.
By
straps.
nobody, do you mean like us? Because
Yeah.
a lot
Nobody.
of people out there still have the garbage on their Quest 2 and they
Yeah.
just deal with it.
I'm telling you this,
True.
anybody who is a true player of virtual reality who puts time in their headset won't be wearing this fucking thing right now. I'm telling you that.
I don't agree.
If you are out there, if you're out there
Mash.
wearing them for any period of time, then you are lying to yourself, or you're too cheap to go buy an
Not
upgraded head
everybody's
strap.
head is weird like yours, though. Like,
Let me ask you this.
Just
Let's
kidding.
poll the chat right now. How many in chat have the original Quest 2 head strap on your headset right now? I'd love to know. There's
It's not the
There are
same.
205 people in here. I guarantee there's going to be 200 of them that don't have the original strap on there. And the same thing is going to be for the Quest 3.
It's not
No
the
way
same.
you're going to keep this thing.
It's not the same as Quest 2, Eric. It's not.
It fits exactly the same.
It's
It
not.
fits
It's got
exactly
a
the same.
Y. It's got a Y on
No,
it. now,
wait
Eric.
till you try it, boys. Honestly, we will have this conversation again. But
I did. I hate it. I hate it. I hate the way it adjusts. The adjustment doesn't fit. You can never get it adjusted just right on your head. You're always like trying to fiddle with the two little back things that you have to pull. Like, I don't know. I hate it. I hate it. It's like the worst strap in the world.
Do you know who else likes to fiddle?
With the strap on?
With the worst strap in the world.
Sherzod again,
Yeah.
thank you ever so much for the $2 donation. He says, I heard to stay away from the orange strap and obviously the orange surround,
Ooh,
more importantly.
interface. Really?
Yeah, because of light leak. Now, traced this down this morning to what's
What
his
if you're a
name?
Bronco
Voodoo.
fan, though? That's
Voodoo.
good for Bronco fans.
I'll take your word for it. Yeah, Voodoo DE reported that he had light leak, and I think he took it off and he shined it up to a light, and he could basically say that the light was basically making the orange brighter and stuff. I used the orange one, not much to be honest with you, so I'm going to try and put it for its paces. But to be honest, I didn't notice any difference. But I will try and find out.
What do you think about the stock facial interface that comes with the Quest GT? Because previous iterations of the Quest, in my opinion, literally day one replacements, you should never use the OG facial interface for the Quest 1 or the Quest 2. What about Quest 3? Is this something that people can actually use, or should I like hit up VR cover now?
So similar to IGN, a lot of their demos were using the silicon cover because of hygiene and stuff. They want to get the silicon off it. But I actually used it without, and I thought it was okay. But again, I need to review it. I need it in my own space. I need to work this stuff out. I need to go through the motions of being hot and just going through some stuff. But if you're asking if it's anything like Pico 4, no. It is much more comfortable. Like Pico 4, I can't stand that thing on my face pretty instantly in some ways. And that's what I mean. Like, I'm very surprised that Eric's saying what he's saying, but I get it because everyone's different. I actually put that on. I was like, wow, they've got very close to... Well, I felt it was an improvement over Quest 2. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect because I still think it will dig into people's ears. I think it even... I can't even remember if it dug into my ears, though. That's the thing. And Quest 2 really pissed me off with that. It was so hard. It felt like literally someone doing that on top of your ears. It fucking killed. But I didn't get that at Quest 3. So again, just need some time to...
How stretchy are the straps? Somebody who was at Collide gave a $2 super chat, wants to know this compared to the Quest 2 stretchiness.
Same.
Yeah, I would say they're the
fucking
same.
strap.
It's not the same
It
strap.
matches the exact same strap.
But it does feel the same. Yeah, like it feels like the same material, and you still have to like pull the two things to get it across your head. I think now the reason I put this down in my first impressions was I was trying to figure out if the strap is the same material and it's only got that little Y thing to add to balance, it's the headset making this strap better. Not necessarily the strap. It's because the headset is now so much closer to your face and the weight is so much better balanced. You haven't got a headset pulling at the front of your face at all. Like this headset just doesn't do that. So that's why I thought, oh, like this actually, I can definitely tolerate this for this whole session today. I'm fine with that. Again, need to get it home. Need to figure it out.
Yeah, it's got to be balanced differently because I'm in the same boat. Like I know that it weighs the same as the Quest 2. It just feels different on your face. So it's just a balancing thing. And it's even better than the Quest Pro for me And you got to remember the Quest Pro has no battery in the front of it. The battery's in the back, and this still feels lighter than the Quest Pro. It feels better balanced. And I thought the facial interface actually felt pretty good. I didn't have a problem at all with it. And I'm not mad that they put this strap on it. Like, I'm okay. I'm I'm not upset that this strap is on it. Because everybody's going to go get another one anyway. Like, and they're good, inexpensive options out there that are really, really good. So I'm not upset. Like, to me, you can get away with the facial interface that's on it, and then just go buy a $20 Bobo or a $40 Bobo or get a Kiwi, and then you'd be fine.
You know what
So-
is nice about the stock strap is, definitely go out and buy a Bobo, right? But if you're going to travel, put the original
True.
strap back on, and now this Quest is like that big and fits into
Yeah.
anything, and you can travel with it super easy, right? So for that reason, it's good to have it, but I definitely wouldn't be using it for my everyday gaming.
Nice. Sorry, I was trying to get up a list of games that are coming this month, but I've completely lost them. Substacker asks, can you wear glasses with the Quest 3? So I think Mike from the VR Oasis tested it, and I was vigorously sliding the things back and forth. There's basically 4 stages inside the headset of where the lenses can be. So in London, I wasn't like the FOV to me. I was a bit like, seems exactly the same as Quest 2. And then when I played it at MetaConnect, I actually managed to get the lenses as close to my eyes as possible, and then I could see a slight increase. Nothing that I would go, oh yeah, like the FOV is massive. It's not. It's pretty much. What do you reckon, Mash? I didn't really notice a massive FOV increase.
Yeah, so I think if you have a Quest Pro, you won't see a much of an increase because you can get those lenses so close to your eyes, especially without a really big facial interface. But I think if you're used to the Quest 2, I think you will see an upgrade because I do think you can get the lenses way closer to your eyes. It is a bigger FOV, quite a bit bigger. It's 110 degree FOV.
Yeah.
So I think going from the Quest 2 jump to the Quest 3, I think you'll notice a difference for sure.
Nice.
Those lenses are huge too, GT, by the way. Didn't you think? Like, the lenses look bigger when you just look into the headset. They look like they're huge.
Do you know
They
what?
look almost like Pimax crystal size lenses.
They looked really good. But one of the things I wanted to talk about, in case anyone does wear glasses and they're thinking about getting actual proper lenses for their eyesight. Sorry, I don't wear glasses, but Mike does, and he tried out some lenses there that I don't know who makes them. I mean, they were there. They might be direct through Meta. I think someone on Twitter today ordered them. They come in at $75. They are super flush to the lenses. They almost look like they were designed with this headset in mind. And I know it sounds crazy. Like, it's almost like they designed the Quest 3 and thought, yeah, these are also going to be needed. Because when he put them on, it didn't really change anything visually looking at it. It was really, as at the moment, like most of the lenses I get, they're there. They stand out. They're a bit thick, or they don't feel right, first of all. So yeah. So you don't need a glasses spacer. You can slide the whole thing forward and backwards inside the headset. And on top of that, when you get these really cool looking lenses, I thought it was really good. So yeah, they kind of thought of quite a lot of stuff.
I'm excited for those. It's the first thing I always do is order lenses for my headset, because if there's 2 things that completely change how a headset feels in its comfort and how long you can use it for. And one is the head strap. But number 2 is if you wear glasses. Taking the glasses away is such a huge upgrade, because you don't realize that when you're putting glasses in a headset, the IPD of your glasses have to match your IPD of your eye, which then has to match the IPD of the lenses. So when things shift around, the clarity just is not the same. As soon as you put some prescription lenses in there on top of your lenses for the headset, huge difference for glasses wearers. Absolutely huge. And then your field of view is bigger. You're not scratching the glass on both your glasses and the lens of your headset. I mean, I think it is 1,000% worth it to spring for some lenses. Personally, I always use Real Optics. I did not try any lenses on the Quest 3, so I can't speak to it. But in the past, it's always been Real Optics to me, have been my favorite. Yeah, it's the first thing I'm getting.
Yeah, nice. Who's actually pre-ordered in this chat? I'll be interested, on the show as well. You boys put like exactly the same time. That was quite funny. Yeah, I'll be interested to see who's pre-ordered. And also, another conversation. What size have you pre-ordered? Because a lot of people just prefer it bigger. Don't they,
You know
Reese?
who else prefers it bigger?
My mom. Oh man, the setup for that one was beautiful.
That was
Yeah.
glorious.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very interested in that conversation that's going to happen.
Not only does she prefer it bigger, but so do I.
Wow.
Yeah, same here.
Oh, yeah.
It means I got the big one.
Oh
That-
my god.
We should just let that hang.
Yeah.
We are.
absolutely.
We are.
No more hang. Oh, none of that.
Oh, dear.
You know who else lets it hang?
My mom.
She does, and she also likes how you can pull on the two things to make it tighter.
yes.
A lot of 512s. That's quite interesting. Yeah, I would go 512 personally.
I would
Just-
too. Unless you're getting it for PCVR and you're not a huge standalone player, and then I think you're
Right.
fine with the 128, really. But I think if you're going to play a lot of standalone, I think with the size of games coming, you should probably go with the
Future
512.
proof.
Is
You
it-
got one chance to do it now, right? So
I mean, I'm also interested in how many people who are quite new to VR got PSVR 2 and are thinking about Quest 3 as well. Because I think with PSVR 2, we brought a few new people in to channels. So I'm wondering if any of you guys are like first with PSVR 2 and now thinking about Quest 3 because you just love VR. Like, I just want to know if there's anyone like me out there who just goes crazy for everything, you know? Yeah, I'm still trying to work out if I like the Pimax. I'm struggling.
It is amazing. It's a great headset that's really good for certain uses. That's what I'll say about Pimax.
Good.
Like,
It's good when it works well, right?
yeah, I never had any issues. I still never have any issues. I know there's a lot of people that do, and it's weird because there's that's what happens with their software sometimes. Like it works with some people and some people it doesn't. That's a pain in the ass. You know what I mean? So, but
kind
I've
of
never
kind
had
of important. It works all the time, in my opinion, or try to
I
be.
just- I just never have had an issue. Like I literally every time I start it up, it wants to work and everything works, and then it's great. But I mean, there's certain things I just would never use it for. Like if I'm going to play a game that I am going to do a lot of moving around in, there's no way I'm using that headset. You know what I mean? It's just too big and bulky, and I'd rather but if I'm going to play Kayak VR, or if I'm going to play a sim game, or if I'm going to do anything seated down, I want the best fidelity of a headset I can find. I'll absolutely put it on every time.
Amazing until the battery dies.
Yeah.
That does suck.
Yeah, I mean, let's not get it twisted as well. There is no launch games for Quest 3. Like, there's not.
What's up with that?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? There's not a game
No
that.
banger, right?
Yeah, like all right, your old games are going to get updates, and admittedly, Saints and Sinners looks really completely different because of the NPC count and stuff, and just in general. But yeah, I mean, you've still got to wait for Assassin's Creed, which is I think. Is it in November?
November, yeah.
16th, I think.
Yeah, Vampire the Masquerade's coming out in November. There's a bunch of stuff coming out in November, and even Asgard's Wrath in December.
What have we
There's
got?
stuff coming,
Sorry.
just not right at launch.
What have we got for October, Wes? Have you got a list at all? I did have a list, and I can't find it.
Ghostbusters.
For Quest 3 specifically, or just
no,
in
just in
general?
general, dude. Yeah.
So off the top of my head, Madison VR is a big one that's coming in October. Also, like I mentioned earlier, Vertigo 2 is coming to PlayStation VR, which is a big deal. Dungeons of Eternity coming next week.
That is a wicked game. That is so good.
Yeah. Is it good?
It's really good. Sorry. Yeah.
Does
Genotype
Seventh Guest
comes
drop
out
in
this month.
October?
Seventh the Guest. Yeah, that's right.
Really?
Wizards Dark Times Brotherhood comes out this month.
Genotype looks pretty cool too. You just mentioned that one. That one looks pretty sick too.
Ghostbusters Journey to Foundation comes out this month.
Oh my god!
Which
Wow.
looks incredible.
Wow.
The Foglands comes out this month.
Oh, I want to play the
Oh my
Foglands.
god! I'm on
man.
holiday
That
this
was
month. When is that happening? No.
The Foglands is on Halloween.
I'm not playing What the Foglands. I'm not doing that.
and Samba de Amigo.
Thank God.
You have to say it like that too. That's the way they say it.
A
so that's
lot
what
of
you have to
people
say.
like Some de Amigo. I was a bit like,
Oh, I bet they do.
but I was so underwhelmed. Like I didn't even want to play it, and then everyone was kind of going, "Dude, did you play Some
Yeah,
de
I don't wanna
Amigo?"
play
And I was
it.
like, "Oh, really?" Everyone liked it. So,
It's also kind of a
And
classic,
then-
right? It's a Sega title. That's kind of a big deal.
but you had real maracas, didn't you?
Phasmophobia rumored for PSVR 2 this month. A bunch of stuff coming to PSVR 2, like the Angry Birds is coming to PSVR 2.
Oh my god. What?
Red Matter's about to get a big graphical update. The original Red Matter's going to get a PSVR 2 upgrade this week.
Would you play the original though, knowing you've got 2 now? Like you yourself as a gamer?
Well, yeah, because I've played through 2 a couple times now, and knowing what they look like and how they feel in PSVR 2, I'll definitely go back and play it just to kind of see how much improved it is now with the new haptics and the OLED screens and all that.
I think you'll get in there and go, this game is slow as shit. That's what I think, like, in comparison.
And the story was, I just feel like the first one was okay. Second one was
second one was so good. It could have been a standalone, to be fair, but yeah.
Well, the second one's great. It's literally it's a nominee for PSVR 2 Game of the Year. I feel like it's that good.
It's really good. Oh, do you know who else likes to shake their maracas?
My mom.
Yeah, she does.
She does.
Wait, Ruth, you're dropping the ball, mate. I had to cover you. I had to cover you then.
Man, well,
on, man.
Can you do it now?
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
I need a.
Oh yeah, she does.
Yeah, she does.
See, sometimes she gets out of control, and I gotta like rein her in with something else. You know?
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so hyped for
she does.
7th Guest, man. Like,
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward
I can understand some people still think, you know, it's just a puzzle game, doesn't really matter. But it is, at least on PC. I haven't played it on any other platform currently, but on PC, it was so like striking to experience. I was like, wow, this is very cool. So
my whole kind of thought with that game when it was announced, you know, the first game was notable because it was kind of the first that had that technology of like literal digital video in a video game. It was groundbreaking at the time. And I felt like the idea behind this VR remake is the photogrammetry. Like we haven't had a game that really uses photogrammetry really well. And so you've had a chance to play a demo, right, GT? How profound is it that these ghosts are 3D and realistic looking?
It's very cool. It's not something I've really seen before. They've got this weird effect though, like when you go up close to them, they sort of like go, what's the word? I don't know how to explain it. They turn into like blobby crystals kind of thing, and then you can walk into them, walk out of them again. But if you keep like a certain distance to them, it's really cool. It's really cool to see that in VR. I've never seen that before. So yeah, and I've said it before, I've said it again. The lamp that changes in real time from an old environment to a new environment, depending on where you show it. This game is going to be a surprise hit, I think, to be honest.
You think it's going to look good on the Quest 3?
I think it's going to look good on all platforms, to be honest.
Oh, but I mean with the Quest 3 headset on PCVR.
Yeah,
I don't care about standalone. Like my thing is for everybody else that doesn't have a PC, I get it. I think it's important for them, but for me personally, if I can play it on PC or PlayStation VR, why would I want to play it on Quest 3?
We will see, Roots. We will see. That's the thing. That's what I think will happen. Maybe you might play some games in this and go, yeah, this is actually better than I predicted, or I think. Just saying.
But don't you think that because the games still have to be developed for PS or for I keep going back to Sony, man, for Quest 2, that it's kind of going to hold the fidelity back for the Quest 3 a little bit, right? Because I mean that we just recently lost support for the Quest 1. That was so long ago. I mean, hopefully there's a good system in place to say, you know, for the software to identify whether it's a Quest 3 or a Quest 2, and then use the proper textures and resolution. But at the same time, how far can you go away from Quest 2 when it has to be supported? I mean, we're going to find out, right? But you know, I hope there's really a way to truly like utilize this hardware because it's so powerful. And the screen's so good and it looks so clear. And, you know, I really hope we don't get held back by Quest 2 compatibility.
It depends on the developers, right? Isn't there a couple games out that have actually made the exact different one for PC, Quest, PlayStation VR 2? Like the good developers can utilize it. It's just how lazy do they want to be, or how how much do they want to do it?
It's
right?
it's
So,
more it's more about whatever is the money maker normally.
Yeah.
Where is the money? Like, and I'm going to use Hellsweeper as an example of that, and I think they massively dropped the ball. Because the PSVR 2 version, and I don't know how it is now, I haven't been in there, it actually kind of goes back to what Wes said earlier when we was talking about, what was that game you mentioned, Wes? Green Hell.
Green Hell.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
kind of goes back to that, because in some ways, Hellsweeper on Quest visually doesn't look as good as Steam and PSVR 2, and yet you'd kind of want to play it more maybe on Quest, because
It's clear.
because it's clear, yeah, and you know what kind of to expect. This is where I think Quest 3 is going to flip it up, Roots, for you. I think you're going to see some graphics in there, and you'll be like, actually, yeah, I don't want to fire at my PC, and maybe I don't want to stand in this particular room today. Maybe I want to go somewhere else, because I think you're going to be surprised. Like how you loved your Pro for PCVR with that clarity, you've now got some actual graphical power behind it, and yeah, I'm just saying, as a user, man, I've got it all, and I've always believed that standalone will be what pushes VR forward anyway. You can't be tethered, you know, and I think it's acceptable with PSVR 2 now. Some people will argue with that, and they did massively when they heard it was wired, but I still think for the next 2-3 years it's fine, but eventually it will all have to be wireless. What do you reckon?
Yeah, eventually that'll be the case. I think probably as early as the next gen for PlayStation VR 2 will be wireless. That I still think it's a 50-50 proposition that we either see a wireless version of PSVR 2 or we see a wireless adapter for PSVR 2.
That'd be awesome.
Because it is a big deal to some people. Not me. I play seated most of the time, and the wire doesn't bother me. But it is a big deal for a lot of people, and that number is increasing every day. So, yeah, I think wireless is 100% the future.
The only thing I do worry about is after we're speaking with Brad about the Valve Index wireless adapter. How does anyone remember when he was on here and said how much that was?
Yeah, it's like $400, I think.
Talking about the Nofio.
Yeah,
The Nofio wireless.
For two reasons, and I don't mean to be the negative person, but one, PlayStation going to look at seller numbers. Right, how many people are buying this headset? They've got to develop it, and then they're going to ask people to then go and buy it. I don't know. It's one of those things. Like if the headset was flying, and I don't even know what is the seller numbers now. I'm not sure. It must be a million by now, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Is the cord
around
removable
1 million.
too? Is the cord removable on the PlayStation VR 2? Because that's the only thing. That cord is heavy as shit, and it's like long. So what do you do with that cord if it's not removable?
It is. There's a little bit of work to it. You got to take the facial interface apart, but it does come off. It is replaceable.
What was you saying about MASH?
I was just saying, if it's not replaceable, like I had thought that you couldn't, like, because that was one of the biggest things people said, like, what happens if I damage my PlayStation VR 2 cord? That thing's not replaceable. My whole headset is shot at that point. So I was saying, if it's not replaceable, what do you do with it once you get a wireless module? You know what I mean? Like, that cord is heavy as shit.
It is replaceable. Now you can't just go buy a cable and do it yourself, but you send it in.
But you can pull it off. You can pull it off the headset.
Yeah, it plugs. It's not hard burn. It's not burn in. It's got a plug on the end that plugs into the headset.
Nice.
Cool.
What was I going to say something. I've completely lost it. Where it's getting late. It's late for me, not for you guys.
It's late for me. I'm about to die.
Which is what. Oh yeah. Thank you, Cub.
Dude, you're not that old, Mash. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
He's tired. We are going to wrap up.
You know who's always hard on me?
Oh,
yes, she is.
Kerman, thank you ever so much for the New Zealand $5. Going to be interested to see how retro emulation runs on Quest 3 with the new processor and older PC ports. I think the people I'll be watching are Dr. Beef. Like those guys make magic, dude, on Quest 2.
I was thinking about this earlier today. What a year from now, 2 years from now, the possibilities are going to be for mixed reality emulation and mixed reality modding, because I'm thinking of, do you remember the NES 3D NES or whatever it's called?
Oh, Send 3D VR. Send
Yeah.
send 3D.
Oh,
yes.
good.
So there's no reason now that we can't have that floating in our room, right? Like we
Yep.
could definitely have that floating in our room. And then when I think about Dr. Beef and what the possibilities are for someone like that with mixed reality, I'm thinking about isometric top-down games like Hades. Imagine being
Oh.
able to put Hades on your coffee table and play
Bloody
it in
hell.
3D.
That would be sick, dude.
You know
Oh
what I'm
my-
saying?
Yeah. oh
No
my God.
reason why they can't. There's no reason why that can't be done now.
Talking about, I'm sorry, you just made me think. Has anyone played Ghost Signal yet on PSVR 2? Has anyone got keys yet? Has it gone out yet?
I've got
I have
keys.
not.
I haven't played it yet. I've got a key for it. I haven't played it
Nice.
yet.
I'll check in with Andreas. Like,
I'm gonna go do it now then.
it's such a great game. Like, I'm just gonna say it out now. If you've got a PSVR 2 and you haven't got, and you obviously haven't got a Quest, I fully recommend Ghost Signal if you like sci-fi roguelite. I think it's a very good game.
It's very cool. I like it a lot.
have you
It's
played-
underrated too. We didn't talk about it enough.
Massively underrated. Did you play it before, Wes?
A little bit, yeah. It was better than I thought it was going to be. It's a bit of a slow burn. Takes a little while to get going, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was all right.
Beautiful. Yeah, I think it's a great game. I think it's a really good game. And yeah, I can't wait to see what Dr. Beef and stuff do with this. And I've always said it about Quest 2. I think if you love retro gaming in general, I think it's a great headset. I love my Virtual Boy collection on mine. I never take it off. Like, I'm always checking out Wario, and there's some really fucking odd games from Japan. But
And what
yeah.
about EmuVR, right? Like right now you go into
Yeah.
old 80s bedroom or something, right? Why can't I just place a CRTV now into my actual environment and sit there and play old school video games, you know?
What an incredible
Back
bit of software. What an incredible bit of software. Like, I get in there and I think, I know my channel's not their size, but I think, how can you make a video on this and it not get like 1 million people interested? I don't understand it. That you can just place every console in a physical, like in your VR room, but in a physical place with physical TVs, and have the cartridges of all your favorite games, and you fucking put them in the consoles and you turn them on, and then you're holding the controller or you're holding the light gun. I just don't get it. I don't get it. When I saw that, it fucking drove me wild. I was like, oh my God, this is a dream. Like, this is a fantasy. And it's
And
real.
the multiplayer works. You
And
can
the
invite your
multiplayer
friends
works.
over to your crib and show off your
Yeah.
game collection and show off all the posters on your wall and
Yeah.
stuff. Like, it is badass.
Yeah, and
I
then
want
people
that
are like,
mixed reality.
It's
They're
kind of come in mixed reality because look, did you see what they were doing like on the stage and what they were talking about? Having virtual anchors in your own environment where you can
Yes.
put things into
Yeah.
like, and they're virtually anchored there all the time. Like they actually even showed like a picture frame with a virtual game in the picture frame that's anchored in your own environment. And that's the way you entered the game. So it was like they were showing Supernatural, and Supernatural was on like a picture on your wall. And you could walk up to it, you put your hand in it, and it will bring you into Supernatural from your house. So there's no going out, going back to your menu and going and loading up. You know, think about being able to do that with a lot of different games, and then having little pieces of whatever is your favorite game, you know, on your kitchen countertop, and it's always there as soon as you put the headset on, or somewhere in your environment. It's going to be the mixed reality stuff's going to be cool. It's going to be really cool.
yeah. Someone asked about like, oh, Sherzod, thank you, dude. He's asked about local dimming. As far as I know, there isn't local dimming from what I've read.
I
but
haven't heard anything.
That's correct.
I have got.
There is in the Quest Pro.
Yeah, I have got a fact sheet actually, but because I've lost my Discord, I've lost the fact sheet. So I was going to prepare it for this, but I haven't got it. So
You know what I'm excited about too on the Quest 3 is if you look back historically and you look at the Quest 1 and the Quest 2 during their launches, and then towards the end of the life of these headsets, completely different headsets. They're not even the
Oh.
same. They've been updated so much to do so many things we would have never even thought of, and do everything that they did better. So what is the Quest 3 going to look like a year from now, 2 years from now? I mean, it's just going to be, you know, if one thing Meta does well is continue to support the hardware that you bought and to make it better. So
We
I'm
didn't
stoked.
even have wireless VR before that. Think about what you're saying is so true. We didn't. Airlink came out after the Quest 2 came out. Like there was no way if you were playing PCVR
Link
on
came
your
out
Quest
after
2,
the Quest came out.
yeah, you had to
it
be
did.
you had to have a cable hooked up from your. There was no Airlink. There was no way to wirelessly play PCVR. That stuff came out after. Hand tracking all came out after.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I was very lucky. I had so Meta literally we knew it was coming, Oculus Link. Then something they dropped the update, and I just so happened to have a cable that I kind of bought thinking it might work, and it worked. And I live streamed it, and I remember Nathy writing in our chat like, "Oh, geez, he's the first person to ever stream Oculus Link," and I'd never had 180 people watching me before. And I think it might have gone higher. I don't know. But it was amazing for me as a small channel, you know, to be answering these questions and playing what's the robot one? What's the
Robo Recall?
No, the other one. Stormland.
Yeah.
Playing Stormland wearing a Quest was blowing people's minds in the chat. They were like, wow, like that's incredible. And it was incredible, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've done some great stuff. I think it's time to go because Mash is looking more and more red as the longer it looks like he's got a seafood allergy.
All right, don't quit because of me. I'm ready to roll.
No, it's good.
Let's go.
He'll be on his deathbed going, "I'm ready to go, guys. I'm ready to go."
Freaking, I caught some kind of craziness at Meta connecting. I got some kind of meta disease.
Some kind of craziness.
You got zucked. You got zucked.
I got zucked, man.
Yeah.
You got
I'm ready to roll.
Thank you ever so much for everyone joining us today. Over 200 viewers pretty much concurrently, and that is incredible. So thank you ever so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the show. I don't think there's many trips coming up for anywhere now, is there? Or anything? Hopefully we can be around.
We should be on for a while.
And do more shows.
Yeah. We're going to be here whether you want us to be here or not.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But,
not until VR days in the Netherlands, I don't think.
Yeah.
VR day. Oh, not yeah.
Yeah, Immersive Tech Week. That's at the end of November.
You're hosting, Alex.
Maybe. Yeah, I am.
Maybe.
I am. I wasn't announcing it yet, but yeah, I am.
No, he's not.
You are announcing
You're
it right now.
announcing
I thought
it
you'd
now,
done
bro.
it. I thought you'd done it.
No, but that's my fault. It's my fault for telling you.
Oh, you weren't
Yeah.
supposed to say anybody.
Yeah,
I just got an email. They said you weren't supposed to say anything. I'm actually now the official host. Sorry.
Yeah.
They
Fucking
booted
hell.
you.
Oh, we got EGX, guys. If anyone's going to EGX, I'll be
I
there
want to
in
go to
London.
EGX.
It is a very good show, actually, and I can't wait to be there. So if anyone from the chat is going to be there, I would let you all know in Discord I'm going, but I'm fucking going to lose my Discord, man. It's really
No,
upsetting.
you're not.
That
You're
is
getting in there. You're
insane,
gonna get
dude.
it
No,
back.
no, they can't, mate. They can't get it back. He's told me. They told me
what?
today. It's got 5 days. They're going to delete it.
They're going to delete it in
Whoa,
5
what
days? Your
happened?
whole entire Discord's just going to be gone?
Yeah.
How do they do that?
Your
Basically,
account?
yeah. So basically, when I worked at Fast Travel, I set up another Discord, kind of somehow linking that Discord, and I didn't quite understand what I was doing, and I set up something called F2A.
F2A, which is
pretty normal. And the F2A was on both accounts, but I only ever saved the F2A for the Fast Travel one, not my one.
So you don't have two-factor authentication on your old
on my original one. On Gaming Tag VR, FTA is there, but there's no way. I've got my phone number in there. I've got my email. I've been completely transparent with them, and they basically said to me, it was something happened. They basically said, they sent me through an email, and it said your account's been blocked, and you need to reset the password. I was like, oh, fucking all right, fair enough. And I think it was Samson at the time. He's lost his account, and
he needs to stop freaking messaging me, dude.
yeah. Well, that guy's now asking. That guy's now said he can have his account back if he pays him. He's trying to blackmail him for his account.
That is ridiculous. I'm gonna find this guy and beat the fuck out of
That's
him.
how fucked.
Yeah,
but that's
same.
how
I'd be
fucked
right there with
Discord
you.
is. That's how fucked
I wanna
Discord
talk.
is.
Yeah, I want to talk to Samson.
But
Take me to the moon.
so yeah, basically they've told me like if you don't get that code, which doesn't exist, it's gone. So it's gone. So it's just so I've got to set up a whole new one at some point, and just hope that everyone kind of forgives me, because we've got Dark Angels like Memorial Corner in there.
Yeah,
There's art, there's music, there's people's pets. It's like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
That is such a bummer.
So
It's
why
funny,
are they
we
deleting
all have
it?
Discords.
though?
Can you imagine losing? I couldn't imagine losing our Discord.
So you're having trouble getting back in, sure, but why are they deleting it?
Because basically FTA currently with Discord overrules everything. If you don't have that code, they cannot get you back in. It doesn't matter who you are. That's what they've told me.
Wow.
And I've been trying since last Thursday. They're
What the
like,
heck? Why can't you send him a picture of your license or something? What are we in, like 1800s?
this is what I think so weird.
2023. What the
Right.
heck's happening?
That's what I'm
That's
saying. It's
insane.
almost like there's some sort of robot making the decisions. You know, there's no humanity there of like, do you know
It's
what?
the AI.
I even said,
Discord AI.
yeah, I said like, let me do a live chat with me instead of these emails that take 24 hours to reply to,
Right.
and give me 10 minutes and it'll be sorted. But they won't. They won't do any of that. All the times people have boosted the server. What happens to all
Right.
that money? All that stuff. I'm like, I said to her, I want a fucking refund. Like all that stuff, all the guys that have put money into it and stuff. It's disgusting.
Did you throw your name around? Did you know who I am? No.
No, I'm getting angry now. But anyway,
I don't blame you, man. I would be
problem.
heartbroken. I don't know. That sucks, dude.
it was awful last week. It really upset me all the way on the plane journey. I was thinking about it. I was like, and to be honest, I know it sounds a bit like there's really only 5, maybe 6 Discords I need to be in. I need to be there, but it's for the guys I feel bad for, because I can leave that Discord for a week and everyone's living, they're doing their thing, you know, they're interacting. That's what it was all about. It was all about, it isn't, all right, it's my Discord, but it's not really about me. Do you know, that was the whole thing. And it's going to be gone.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Unreal. man.
Yeah.
If you are out there and you are doing things like this, man up. Come hang out with us and let's see what's really up. Right?
Ooh, I like
Whoa.
it. Challenge.
Yeah, for
This
real.
Discord rocks up like that fucking, what's that jug of juice that bursts through the walls in America?
All of a sudden, Skiva gets his
Kool-Aid man.
gets
Kool-Aid,
banned from
yeah.
his.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid comes in like the fucking Discord, like, fucking, what are you talking about, son?
Oh yeah.
I love it.
But yeah, guys, thank you ever so much for being here, all your hosts. You make this show absolutely awesome, and thank you to everyone watching. Again, it's amazing that you all turn out like this. So, thank you. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next time.
Later, everybody.
Easy.
Bye. 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 Bye.